Ganga, the polluted purifier. The Ganges River is a paradox. The mighty river's tributaries are cool Himalayan glacier fed springs. But where the river meets Indian subcontinent's highly populated cities and pours out into the Bay of Bengal, the water goes from crystal clear to trash and sewage infested sludge. देव नदी गंगा ने जहाँ जीवनदायिनी के रूप में भारत को धन धान्य संपन्न बनाया है, वहीं गंगा माता के रूप में गंगा की पावन धारा ने हमारे हृदयों में मधुरता और समरसता का संचार किया है। पतित पावनी गंगा के जल के प्रदूषित होने के बुनियादी कारण तो यह है कि भारत के प्राय सभी प्रमुख नगर गंगा तट और उसके आसपास बसे हुए हैं। इन नगरों की आबादी का दबाव बहुत बढ़ गया है। वहाँ से मल मूत्र और गंदे पानी की निकासी की कोई सुचारू व्यवस्था न होने के कारण उधर बनाए गए छोटे बड़े सभी गंदे नालों के माध्यम से बहकर वह गंगा में आ मिलता है। परिणाम स्वरूप कभी खराब न होने वाला गंगा जल आज बुरी तरह से प्रदूषित होकर रह गया है। Pollution of the Ganges, the largest river in India, poses significant threat to human health and environment. Severely polluted with human waste and industrial contaminants, the river provides water to about 40% of India's population, around 11 states, serving an estimated population of 500 million people, which is more than any other river in the world. Today, the Ganges is considered to be the sixth most polluted river in the world. Raghubir Singh, an Indian photographer, has noted that no one in India spoke of the Ganges as polluted until the late 70s. However, pollution has been an old and continuous process in the river, as by the time people were finally speaking of the Ganges as polluted, stretches of over 600 kilometers were essentially ecologically dead zones. The main causes of water pollution in Ganga River are the disposal of human sewage and animal waste, increasing population density, and disposal of industrial waste into the river. Human waste. The river flows through 100 cities with populations over 1 lakh, 97 cities with population between 50,000 to 1 lakh, and about 48 towns. A large proportion of the sewage water with higher organic load in the Ganga is from this population through domestic water usage. Then industrial waste. Because of the establishment of a large number of industrial cities on the bank of Ganga, like Kanpur, Prayag, Varanasi, Patna, countless tanneries, chemical plants, textile mills, distilleries, slaughterhouses, and hospitals prosper and grow along this, and they contribute to the pollution of the Ganges by dumping untreated waste into it. आध्यात्मिक भावनाओं से अनपाणित होकर गंगा की धारा में मृतकों की अस्थियां एवं अपशिष्ट राख तो बहाई जा रही है, अनेक लावारिस और बच्चों के शव भी बहा दिए जाते हैं। During festive seasons, over 70 million people bathe in the Ganga to cleanse themselves of their past sins. Some materials like food, waste, or leaves are left in the Ganga, which are responsible for its pollution. Traditional beliefs hold that being cremated on its banks and to float down the Ganga will atone for the sins of those who die and carry them directly to salvation. Alas, in Varanasi alone, an estimated 40,000 bodies are cremated every year into the Ganga. and many of which are only half burnt. Personified by Hindus as the goddess Ganga, the river is the site of thousands of cremations and ash scatterings every day. Rivers in India are not just water bodies but worshipped as god and goddesses and are being revered as sacred. Despite such an esteemed status, they are being polluted by man. Now, coming on to the effects of the pollution, effects on marine life or aquatic life. The results of mercury analysis in various specimens collected along the basin indicated that some fish mussels tended to accumulate high levels of mercury. Of it, approximately 50 to 80% was organic mercury. A strong positive correlation between mercury levels in mussel with food habit and fish length was found. The Ganges River dolphin is one of the few species of freshwater dolphins in the world. Listed as an endangered species, their population is believed to be less than 2,000. Hydroelectric and irrigation dams along the Ganges that prevents the dolphins from traveling up and down river is the main reason for their reducing population. The Ganges soft-shell turtle is found in the Ganges, Indus and Mahanadi river systems of Pakistan, Bangladesh and southern Nepal. This turtle inhabits deep rivers and streams. It is also being endangered. गंगा के निवास स्थल और आसपास से वनों का निरंतर कटाव, वनस्पतियों और औषधीय तत्वों का विनाश भी प्रदूषण का एक बहुत बड़ा कारण है. Some of the dams being constructed along the Ganges basin will submerge substantial areas of nearby forest. For example, the Kotli Bale Dam at Devprayag will submerge 1,200 hectares of forest, wiping out the forest area. Then the effects on the human beings. An analysis of the Ganges water in 2006 and 2007 showed significant associations between waterborne or enteric diseases and the use of the river for bathing, laundry, washing, eating, cleaning utensils, and brushing teeth too. Water in the Ganges has been correlated to contracting dysentery, cholera, hepatitis, as well as severe diarrhea, which continues to be one of the leading causes of the death of children in India. Now coming on to the cleanup efforts. विगत वर्षों में गंगा जल का प्रदूषण समाप्त करने के लिए योजनाएं बनाई गई हैं. इन योजनाओं के अंतर्गत 2 कार्य मुख्य रूप से किए जाने का प्रावधान किया गया है. एक तो गंदे नालों की दिशा मोड़ दी जाए या फिर उनमें जल शोधन करने वाले संयंत्र लगाकर जल को शुद्ध साफ करके गंगा में गिरने दिया जाए. और दूसरा यह है कि कल कारखानों में ऐसे संयंत्र लगाए जाएं जो कि शोधन कर सकें या उस पर पानी कि कचरे को कहीं और भूमि के भीतर दफन कर दिया जाए. First to mention is the Ganga Mahasabha. It is an Indian organization dedicated to the Ganges, founded by Madan Mohan Malviya in 1905. After a long struggle, British India agreed in 1914 that the uninterrupted flow of Ganges is the rudimentary right of Hindu believers. In the history of India, and the agreement came into existence in 19th December 1916, which is known as the Agreement of 1916. The sanctity of the agreement is not persevered by the state and the central governments of India after independence, though it is legally valid. More and more river water is diverted for irrigation use, converting the river into a polluted sewer. Then coming on to the Ganges Action Plan or GAP. The Ganges Action Plan was launched by Rajiv Gandhi, the then Prime Minister of India, on June 1986, with covering 25 Class 1 towns, 6 in Uttar Pradesh, 4 in Bihar, and 15 in West Bengal. Rupees 862 crores were spent on this plan. Its main objective was to improve the water quality by the interception, diversion, and treatment of domestic sewage, and to prevent toxic and industrial chemical waste from identified polluting units from entering the river. Its main objectives were control of non-point pollution from agricultural runoff, human defecation and disposal of human remains in the river, then research and development to conserve the biotic diversity of the river to augment its productivity, then development of sewage treatment technologies such as upflow anaerobic sludge blanket and sewage treatment through afforestation, then rehabilitation of soft-shelled turtles for pollution abatement, then resource recovery options such as methane production for energy generation and use of aquaculture for revenue generation, then to act as a trend center for taking up similar action plans in other grossly polluted stretches in other rivers. The ultimate objective of the GAP is to have an approach of integrated river basin management, considering the various options. Then the National River Ganga Basin Authority or NRGBA. It was established by the Central Government of India on 20th February 2009 under the Section 3 of the Environment Protection Act 1986. It declares the Ganges as the national river of India. The chair includes the Prime Minister of India, the Chief Ministers of states through which the Ganga flows. In 2011, the World Bank approved 1 billion funding for the National Ganges River Basin Authority. Then the 2010 Government Cleanup Campaign. In 2010, it was announced that the Indian government has embarked upon 4 billion campaign to ensure that by 2020 no untreated municipal sewage or industrial runoff enters the 1,560-mile river. A World Bank spokesman described the plan saying, earlier efforts to clean the Ganges concentrated on a few highly polluted towns and centers and addressed end-of-the-pipe wastewater treatment. Their mission Clean Ganga builds on lessons from the past and will look at the entire Gangetic basin while planning and prioritizing investment instead of the earlier town-centric approach. अब हम आते हैं नमामि गंगे प्रोग्राम. In the budget tabled in Parliament on 10th July 2014, the Union's Finance Minister Arun Jaitley announced an integrated Ganges development project titled Namami Gange, meaning obeisance to the Ganges River, and allocated 2,037 crores for this purpose. The objectives were effective abatement of pollution, conservation, and rejuvenation of the Ganges. Under the project, 8 states were covered. Ministry of Drinking Water Supply and Sanitation proposes to make 1,674 gram panchayats by the Ganges open defecation free by 2022 at the cost of 1,700 crores. An estimated 2,900 crores have been spent till July 2016 in the various efforts in cleaning up the river. As a part of the program, Government of India has ordered the shutdown of 48 industrial units around the Ganges. लगभग 48 इंडस्ट्रियल यूनिट्स गंगा के आसपास बंद कर दी गई हैं नमामि गंजेस प्रोग्राम के तहत। नेशनल मिशन फॉर क्लीन अप गंगा के तहत नमामि गंगे प्रोजेक्ट शुरू किया गया था जून 2014 में, जिसका बजट आउटले था 20,000 करोड़। इसका ट्विन ऑब्जेक्टिव है इफेक्टिव अबेटमेंट ऑफ पॉल्यूशन एंड कंजर्वेशन एंड रिजुविनेशन ऑफ नेशनल रिवर गंगा। The main pillars of Namami Gange project are creating sewage treatment capacity, then creating riverfront development, then river surface cleaning from ghats as well as the river itself, then biodiversity conservation. Under it, 5 biodiversity centers have been developed at Dehradun, Naroda, Allahabad, Varanasi and Barakpur. Then next is afforestation program. Then comes public awareness. Public awareness would be through workshops, conducting seminars and conferences which will be organized, then conducting rallies, campaigns, exhibitions and cleanliness drives. Through this, the public will be aware. Then the industrial effluent monitoring. Regular inspections of the industrial units to curb and curtail pollution. Then the Ganga Gram establishments. 1,674 Gram Panchayats situated on the banks of the river in the states of Uttarakhand, UP, Bihar and Jharkhand and West Bengal. Have been selected and rupees 578 crores have been released for the construction of toilets there. Its implementation has been divided into entry-level activities, medium-term activities and long-term activities to be implemented within 10 years. The National Mission for Clean Ganga endeavors to deploy best available knowledge and resources across the world for Ganga regeneration. We are taking the help of other countries like Israel to clean up Ganga. Then there is another project of utilizing the Ganges and the Brahmaputra floodwaters to fight pollution in all rivers of India. Under this project, a freshwater coastal reservoir with massive storage capacity can be established on the shallow sea area adjoining West Bengal, Odisha and Bangladesh coast by constructing sea dikes or bunds to the depth of 20 meters. Water can be pumped from this artificial freshwater lagoon throughout the year with abundant hydropower resource of India to many river basins in India for meeting needs of agriculture and maintaining environmental flows. Nearly 360 billion cubic meters storage capacity freshwater coastal reservoir can be located on the sea area which stretches from coast of southeastern Bangladesh to the mouth of Brahmani river. The dike would be envisaged with gated barrages to pass to the sea and access flood waters received from the Gujarat, Haryana, and Delhi states. Further, water can be pumped into the Bagh Reservoir and Upper Indravati Reservoir located in Godavari River Basin to transfer Ganges water into Godavari and Krishna River Basins. The advantage of this scheme is that Ganges and Brahmaputra river waters can be stored on Bay of Bengal sea area, and nearly 450 cm of water transferred throughout the river year to other river basins including Ganges basin at optimum pumping head. It will be a boon if the project comes into practice. Then it is ironical what Namami Gange couldn't achieve in several years, nature has done in 6 months post the prevailing COVID situations. Actually, the greatest flaw in this and the similar programs is that we set out to clean and river system that already works well. Just that we keep polluting it with industrial effluents, sewage, and plastic. Instead of protecting rivers by blocking pollutants from entering them, we decided to continue polluting them and then cleaning them at the same time. When a river can clean itself and regain its original flow, the use of sewage treatment plants costing crores of rupees appear fallacious. They can't be the solution, a lesson we refuse to learn. Another reason Namami Gange doesn't work is its refusal to understand how the fish and the aquatic plant population, the river banks, the livelihoods of people living nearby, and their socio-economic profile are all linked up together. It's crucial that we revive the river's hydrology without interfering with the ecosystems which they are part of. The impact of climate change looms large, and before the worst of it is upon us, it will serve us well to be ecologically sensitive and be prepared. Then only we can say Namami Gange, Namami Gange.